Hello and welcome to BierTier, the German engineer. Today we are back with oxygen not included with the spaced out DLC. Last time around we built a massive sulfur geyser tamer, and today we're going to go back to space. So let's see how that works out for us. And here we are, back in our base exactly as we left it last time. Over here everything is still going wonderful, our sulfur is going around and around and around and cooling down properly. Let's turn the UI back on, and as soon as it is cooled, we are spitting it out and putting it over to Muckola where we have our sweetles. Wonderful. Alright, let's go to our rockets. So let's do a couple things first. Last time around I plopped 3 solo modules on here. We will only need 1. That's the matter of it, so we're gonna get rid of the first. Let's turn up the speed a little bit, and as soon as that one's gone, we're gonna get rid of a second one. I want to add a gas tank here. What I also want to do is I want to take this rocket platform, I want to copy it, and I want to plop it right here. Then insulated tiles, we're gonna plop those over here as well. Let's make sure that we get a second rocket platform going. Reason being is I want to use this one here on the left for research, and the other one that we are going to build on the right is going to be for exploration. That's exactly how we're gonna do this. Wonderful. And now the 2 modules are gone. Now we can go here into a small solid oxidizer tank, and we can say plus, and then down here we need a gas cargo canister, and we're gonna build that one right away. And it's gonna go right here. That should be okay with 1 solar panel, and that solar panel, just for right now at least, we're gonna hook that up to power as well. That's gonna be good. That's what that should look like. Then the interior here, yeah, we gotta make some changes to the interior. Oh, what is that zoom level? Well, not sure where that came from, but that here looks a hell of a lot better. So, first of all, this whole construct here with all those pipes here, we don't need anymore. So all this here needs to go. Then we will also get rid of the fridge, at least temporarily, and we're gonna get rid of this thing here as well, the mess table, just so we can put in a pump so we can get rid of the gas. This gas spacefarer input port here unfortunately does not work while we are on the planet, so we will have to use a tiny little trick. A little bit of manual labor, but well, it is what it is. Then you go into ventilation, build us a filtered gas pump, plop it right here, build us a gas pipe, and just put it all the way through here. That should be okay. And then we of course need also some power. There we go. Let's hook that up. And meanwhile we can go back to the planet. And on the planet what we also going to do is, let's see, in ventilation we need a canister emptier. And we're just gonna plop that right there for right now. Over here on the second rocket platform we can also start building simultaneously. A small petroleum engine is what powers that entire thing. Then we of course need also a spacefarer module. We're gonna plop that on, and then we basically duplicate the rocket on the left. I mean, that's the reality of it. We're gonna plop down a battery module. I think we will only need 1. We're gonna plop on here a robo module. We're gonna plop that one on, and on top of that we will need a small solid oxidizer tank, and then on top of that we need a gas cargo canister, and on top of that, last but not least, a basic nose cone. Canister emptier, we're gonna set to carbon dioxide, and then back into the interior. Our filter gas pump we set to unbreathable gas, carbon dioxide, and we're just gonna suck all the carbon dioxide here out. And we're just gonna put it into that, well, we probably can't do that, can we? Because it doesn't have an output, at least it doesn't know it has an output. What if we do this here? Then it should at least think we have an output. So maybe that works. Let's see. And there we go. Now our pump is pumping. We just need to make sure that we capture all this carbon dioxide here and just put it into our pipe. That's all that needs to be done right now. And now that our pipe in here is full, all we're gonna do is we're gonna say extract pipe in contents, and we're gonna say that piece right here. Somebody should come by and should empty that out ASAP, I hope. And now it's emptied out. Here we have our carbon dioxide. Let's see, we still pump a little bit in. That should be everything though, right? Yes. One last time, we're gonna come in here, gonna say extract pipe contents, and we're gonna say extract those 2, and then we can start that deconstruction process. Right here, our filter gas pump has to go, as well as that 1 singular power wire right here. Also the oxygen diffuser we don't need anymore. This storage bin here we're gonna set to empty, and we're gonna copy the settings over to here and get rid of this one. That's how we're gonna do this. Also this crown molding here on the top needs to go. As soon as all of that is done, also the crown molding, please. There we go. We're gonna go into furniture, we're gonna grab us a metal block and we're gonna make it out of something nice. What do we have here? Do we have gold somewhere? Here's gold. 50% extra decor. You're gonna plop that into there. And why is Chemster sleeping in here? Chemster, don't you have a bed on the planet? What happened? Oh yeah, that's right. You're still assigned as crew, aren't you? Yeah. Let's get out of here. So let's get all this here built, and then we can also plop our fridge back in here as well as our table. That looks already a hell of a lot better. Now you're probably wondering, but BierTier, how the hell are you now gonna get oxygen in there? Well, now that's where the interesting part is happening. We need to go into rocketry, and we need to find a gas output fitting. And the gas output fitting, we're just gonna plop all the way here onto the ceiling. That is gonna be perfectly fine. And then we're gonna get rid of the rest of those pipes right here. That little thing here needs a little bit of power, so we're going to supply that in, just like this, not a big deal. And now we're going to build a gas pipe, and the gas pipe is going to come straight down all the way to here. Then we need a gas bridge, and the gas bridge we're going to turn into this direction right there. And then we're going to hook it up to right there. Here on the bottom, we're going to build a gas vent. So where is the oxygen coming from? Obviously, we are going to put oxygen through this gas pipe right here. And that is where our storage tank right here comes into the game. I already built the one on the right, didn't I? I'm actually not sure what's going to happen. I guess we're about to find out. Because if I hook this here up, where is the gas going to go? Is it just going to split evenly? Currently, it's going to go nowhere. Oh yeah, so I can actually choose where I want to have it. That's right, I can just put it into here. And I can say breathable gas, because first of all, we need to have some databanks. So we're going to put it into there. It's not going to do a hell of a lot because I need to turn first this system here on so we actually pump some oxygen up there. That would be helpful probably. So let's do that right away. And then we're just going to put, I don't know, a bunch of gas in there. Tons and tons and tons of gas. Now, if you look into our spacefarer module, into F7, we have now our wonderful, wonderful oxygen in there. In case you're wondering, but you still have not solved the problem with the carbon dioxide. Well, actually, yes, I have. Because if the gas vent is all the way on the floor, and that's where our carbon dioxide is floating around, every once in a while carbon dioxide comes by exactly in the moment where this one here releases oxygen. And it magically gets deleted. That's a tiny little exploit right there, but it should get the job done. At least if that is still working. It used to work. I just hope it still does. This one here, maybe we can refill it. We have barely used anything, but it's okay. But other than that, that's what the entire setup is going to look like. Take a look into our overview for rooms. We still have our mess hall, we still have our bedroom, and we still have our washroom. With +2 morale here, +2 morale there, and +3 morale here. And if you take a look into our decor overview, not the germ overview, the decor overview, everything's nice and green. And now we're going to build something extremely similar to that in the other rocket. First of all, though, we're probably going to send this thing here to space so we can get some databanks in, because if you take a look into research, which we should do right away, there's a bunch of things that I want to get done. I think the first one that I want to do is the high velocity transport, the interplanetary launcher, and the targeting beacon. That will be very, very helpful. So we can actually transport some stuff over to another planet once we find one. I just hope that we find something more suitable than that magma planet to start out with. That's going to be a little bit more advanced. We're going to do that later, so I hope we find something better, but something that is also not as boring as Muckola. So it's going to be interesting. We will just have to see what we will find. So we're going to research that, and we're going to go back to our planet. And we of course have to turn this here back on, or no research will be conducted at all. Now, on to our second rocket. What do we have here? First of all, we need to get some petroleum over there, don't we? And now we're gonna hop for the first time into the spacefarer module right here. First of all, our airflow tiles, we need to have them right here, 4 pieces or 4 spaces above the floor. And this time we don't need only 4, we need actually 5 of them. And there's a specific reason for that you will see here very shortly. 10 pneumatic doors, 2 right here, and then we're going to switch one over and build 2 more right there, and the rest we're going to fill up with more airflow tiles. This one here is going to be slightly less luxurious, but it still works, not a big deal. Then in plumbing, we're going to grab our wall toilet, that stays the same, we're going to plop it right here. And then above on the top here, we are going to grab in furniture a cot. Unfortunately, we do not have enough space for a comfy bed, that's just how that has to be, unfortunately, but well, can't have it all, I guess. Then we're going to go down, and we also have place for a canvas right there. Then in stations, or better to say in rocketry, we're going to build a telescope, and the telescope goes right here. And you can kind of see that it needs 3 spaces to be built. That's why we need here 1 extra space, and that's kind of messing up the entire rest of the layout, but that's okay. And then a rocket control station here on the left. Might as well go ahead with the rest of the furniture. We're going to plop in a blank canvas over here in the top, then back in rocketry. we're going to grab us the power outlet in the exact same location as we have it on the other build. And also the gas output fitting, we're just going to plop right beside it, which should be fine. So far, so good. Not a big problem at all. I think we are going to get this here built probably. I'm also going to put in a Atmosuit dock in the exact same position just so we can get an Atmosuit in here. That is really just for safety. It's not like we need it, but it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. You guys know it by now. That's just how it goes. And then furniture, we can also grab a mess table. And in food, we can grab a fridge. And in ventilation, we can grab a gas vent with our good old gas pipe that's coming straight up and in. Then, of course, with a gas bridge, we're gonna come over to here, and with the gas pipe, we're gonna come straight into there. And I think our dupes will now have more than enough to do with it, so let's get that done. Meanwhile, how much gas do we have in here? 800 kilograms. We could use a little bit more. Yeah, that's gonna be fine. We also need an extra ladder. I'm gonna build one right here and right there, and I'm gonna build one right here and right there. That should be all right. This one here we're gonna set to fertilizer, and this one here will be set to oxygen very shortly. In the meantime, over here on Muckola, I think it's time to build another infinite storage. We have so much stuff laying around that I really don't want to dig out more stuff right now. We have time for that later, maybe. So we're just gonna break the game once again, just a tiny little bit. You guys know how we do it around here. We're gonna build some tiles right here. That should be all right. And then we're gonna plop down 3 pneumatic doors. Let's say 1, 2, 3. Just like that, should be fine. And then on top here, we're going to put a tile right here, and we're going to put a tile right there, and extra tiles so the dupes can access it from here. And then in base, we are going to grab us an automatic dispenser, one right here and one right there. And that should get the job hopefully done. These here are all full, so it's not that big a deal. We don't have to worry about the dupes doing an endless loop or anything like it. We just need to get this here built real quick. Okay, now it is built. All we need to do is the door on the left and the door on the right. We set to no access. Our automatic dispensers. I have put basically everything in here that is not liquefiable and that doesn't gas out. So you can slow down the video or pause it to see what exactly I have that here set to. Like I said, nothing that gases and nothing that can liquefy. That's the important part. We're going to set it to a priority of doesn't matter. 7, it should be okay. Going to set it to sweep only. That's important. And then we're going to copy the settings into here. That's how we're going to do this. And then we're going to say sweep. And we basically just go through the entire base once. Everything that we have laying around in here that can be swept, sweep it all up. And then grab it and throw it into our storage. That is the general idea. Do we have anything else laying around here? I think we should basically have it all now. Yeah, that's it. And here comes Tech, the new bro. He puts it in a dispenser, and the dispenser throws it down here. So why have we built it around pneumatic doors? So let's let them put a little bit of stuff in here. Meanwhile, we're going to take another look at our rocket, and then when we come back, you should be able to see it. Over here, by now we have 1,600 kilograms of oxygen in here. I think that's enough. So we're going to turn that off, just like that. Don't need that anymore. And we're going to start filling up the other one. How about that? This one here, going to set it to oxygen, and let's pump it in here. How are we looking on the interior? Oh, everything's built. Look at that. Now isn't that something? That's actually wonderful. Now we need to set up some power so we can actually get some oxygen in here. Power needs to go right there. Power needs to go right there. And of course, power also needs to go right here. In our Atmosuit, we need to deliver a suit here. Do we still have a suit? I have no idea. Let's just build us 5 suits so we have them laying around. So we don't have to guess every time we need a new suit if we still have one. We got plenty of iron laying around. It costs 300 kilograms to make one. We have 41.1 tons. Yeah, I think we can afford to lose 1.5 tons on suits. Pretty easy and straightforward. What we of course also cannot let stand is the beauty Roman numeral 5. Yeah, that's not gonna work. That is certainly not gonna work. That is going to be Nostromo. No idea how you pronounce that in English. So we're just gonna roll the R as we do it in Germany, and we call it Nostromo. That is how that's gonna go. If you recognize the references Nostromo, NCC-1701, and Serenity, one or even all 3 of them, let me know down in the comments. I'm really curious how many of you will know those references. But let's head back on the outside of that rocket. And what we need to do is, we don't have any power wires here. That is of course problematic. We need to make them out of steel eventually, but I think right now we are okay. I just don't know what we need to make out of steel. We're just going to make out of steel or whatever is going to melt once we launch that thing. So we can actually get some power in here. And then we can fill this thing here up with oxygen. So far, so good. Then, back in NCC 1701, let's view the interior one more time. Is there anything that I have forgotten? So let's go into the fridge. We're gonna say we want edible, anything that we have with, let's say, above 90% should be okay with a number 9 priority. Let's get some food in here, and then we're gonna launch that thing. Oh my goodness. 70,000 calories in here? That is enough. That is enough. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're gonna change the crew. We're gonna set Chemster as the pilot, and then we're gonna hop to the exterior. You're not gonna leave him up there for 71 cycles. Are you crazy? But then we're gonna go to our space for a module. We're gonna change the location. We're just gonna come one tile up. That's all it takes. And then back, acknowledge the warnings. We don't care. And then let's begin the launch sequence. Let's go. And here comes Chemster hopping into the rocket. And there he goes. Wonderful. Launching off into space. Let's see. What's the damage? No damage. Have I already built? Yeah, I already have built this piece here out of steel. So nothing was actually destroyed. And we are now in space. That's great. This one here we're going to set now to 0. So we're not ejecting anything once it deteriorates. Chemster, take off your suit. You won't need it anymore. And let's get working. Making us wonderful, wonderful databanks. Lots and lots of databanks. That is now your purpose, and you will do just fine with it. And now we can also take a quick look here. How are we looking on our carbon dioxide? We have now 1 tile down here, maybe 2 tiles, and they're moving back and forth, but we will see if it still works that it should not accumulate. Yep, it just got deleted. The 2 tiles combined, and they just got deleted. Every time he's breathing, of course, there's a new tile coming. But it gets deleted every so often. Look at this, and it's gone again. Just like that, it deletes all the carbon dioxide. Is that an exploit? Yes, it definitely is an exploit. But does it get the job done? Yes, it does. And that is what counts. We have plenty of water in here, so I think it's safe to say that we can leave Chemster alone up here for a good while. Very, very good. So, back to Bierstein, and let's finish this one here as well. So let's finish the interior. We need some plumbing, of course. So we're going to build our pipe. This here is our output, and we're going to do the exact same thing that we did on the other rocket. We're just going to come through the entire rocket, fill it up with water, and that should be so much water for our toilet that we literally don't even know what to do with it. Just in our pipes without any sort of external tank. That is exactly how that should work. And meanwhile in furniture, we can come in and build us a couple metal blocks. One fits perfectly right here. One fits perfectly right there. But that should be plenty of stuff in here now to make it nice and cozy. When we take a look in our room overlay already, we have barracks right here. We have a mess hall right there. And this one here will be a bathroom as soon as we put something in there where the dupes can wash their hands. Unfortunately, this room here is nothing anymore. That is slightly unfortunate, but there's not a hell of a lot I can do about it because I need this space right here. And I need to block it off, or these 2 rooms here won't work either. So I can either make this here a mess hall, or I omit the bathroom, or yeah, that's just... I think this here is just the best possible solution, especially since this one here is not going to be in space even remotely as long as the other one is going to be. So not a big deal. So let's get this here put in. And then we're gonna send somebody else up to space. But who? Probably JSMSJ. Yes, you are our other researcher and you are gonna be the next in space. Wonderful. We're gonna give you the appropriate hat for that though. You are going to be a scientist researcher. You're gonna get the golden hat, Chemster has the red one, and that should work just fine. And now this thing here is completely built. We have water, we have oxygen, and we have power. Everything's working exactly as expected. Last but not least, now we can go into medicine and grab us a hand sanitizer and plop that one in here as well. Just like that, that should be perfectly fine. And once that is done, this rocket here will be ready to launch as well. Isn't that great? Let's take a quick look here also in our decor overlay. And in our decor overlay, oh yeah, it's wonderfully green. Maybe we can put another one in here. Yeah, why not? We have the space. We can always rip it out in case we need the space for something else. But currently I can literally think of nothing that I could possibly need right there. So let's plop in another one. What could it possibly hurt? Let's set this direction here immediately to left. And then we are ready. Meanwhile, let's take a look at Chemster. How you doing up there, sir? Still no carbon dioxide? Wonderful. Still haven't consumed that polluted oxygen? No. But we are doing just fine. And we already have a bunch of databanks. There are roughly, what, 54? It's kind of hard to tell, but I think it's roughly 54 or 55 that we have sitting right there. And we're just gonna make, I don't know, a couple hundred or so? Yeah, that should be plenty. By now this tank has 2,300 kilograms in it. The rover module has now a rover lander. Yep, that's right. And in here, let's take a look at the interior. Yeah, that one's ready to roll. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with this here at all. Here we're going to suppress the notification so we don't have it on all the time. And then with this fridge here, we're going to do exactly the same thing. We're going to set it to 85%, number 9, and anything that's edible. Let's fill her up. While the dupes are bringing more and more calories, we can already set the crew, and we're going to set it to, here we have him, JSMSJ. Let's get a little bit more in here. Maybe 12,000 or so calories should be plenty. Let's get that done. Come on, guys. Bring it on. And they have way overshot it once again. We are at 64,000 calories. I don't know how that keeps happening. I think that's what happens when they go all the way down to the bottom to our frozen storage. Yeah, look at this here. Negative 95 degrees. That's exactly what's happening. There's so much in there that they just grab one bunch at once and bring it all up here. So let's go back to the map and let's grab this thing here and give it a different target. And over here is something. Why don't we just fly to maybe right, I don't know, right there maybe? Yeah, that should work. And acknowledge the warnings. The only warning that we have is that the cargo transfer is not complete. The rocket platform could still transfer cargo to or from this rocket. Yes, I'm well aware. Thank you very much. Let's go. And here we have liftoff. Wonderful. Let's see what we are going to melt to hell right now. Are you going to survive it? Probably not. You're at 1,500 degrees. I'm actually surprised you're still here. What is your melt temperature? 1,534. So you will survive it right now. You're just going to stay extremely hot because you're in the vacuum of space. You should probably get rid of it though and build us a new one made out of steel so it doesn't melt during the next liftoff. And now when we take a look at our star map, we have one rocket sitting right here in orbit and the other one being on the way. So let's take a look. How are you doing, JSMSJ? Oh, you're flying the rocket. That's very nice of you. But also don't forget to use the telescope every once in a while. That would be very nice. And of course, take off your suit. You don't need your suit right now. There we go. That's a hell of a lot better. And now we should have the exact same thing going on as before. You're consuming the oxygen and it should get put out again once you consume enough. I don't know what you're doing up there. What are you doing up there? Let's lock that door. Good grief, you dupes. Why wouldn't you use the shortest way if you want to go somewhere? Currently, unfortunately, though, you're just gonna walk around and do nothing because there's nothing to do for you up until we reach a place where we can use our telescope. Jamster's taking a nap. We have 80 databanks. Yeah, that's pretty decent. But he's already back at work. Look at him. Happily bouncing away, jumping around, and doing all the research. Isn't that nice? Back over here, JSMSJ is now doing us some wonderful research. Let's take a look at the star map and we are already discovering more stuff. Let's see how that works out and what we can find here. Maybe we can unlock this one and this one here in one go. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, this one here is going to be next. Let's see what that's going to be. That's going to stay interesting. Ooh, it's a planetoid. Frostino. It's a frost planet. Okay. That's cool. We need to change the destination. We got to do that from the outside of the rocket. We're going to select it. We're going to say change the destination and I want to go into orbit. Let's see. We can, instead of going right here, we can just go right there. That should work. And we should also be able to research a bunch of stuff. And then we should be able to use our rover module and we can actually see the planet then. That's going to be interesting. What is going to be down there? Bunch of frozen stuff, most likely. Who would possibly see that coming? But frozen is definitely better than bloody hot. That's for sure. While all that is happening, we can come over here. Our dupes have now properly cleaned up. Well, they better have because it has been a good amount of time. And we can see if we zoom all the way out here. There's so much stuff here. I can literally not see it. No matter what I do, I can never see what's all in here. The good thing is we also don't care. So why the pneumatic doors? Now the pneumatic doors are there. If you take a look at our decor overlay, we are at a negative 199. And that's actually not a hell of a lot yet. It could get a hell of a lot worse. The more we put in here, the worse it gets. And it is only one tile in each direction. If we have those doors here, nobody can enter. That means that our dupes will never ever be exposed to that much negative decor. And that is exactly what that should be. We want to have it stored, but we should never be exposed to it. See on the outside here where our dupes are standing, we're at plus 48, plus 30, all the good stuff. We can't even put some, I don't know. Let's take a look at the furniture. What could we put here? I guess a portrait canvas fits right there. Sure. And on the other side, we're going to build a metal block. There we go. Wonderful. That's so much decor, we don't even know what to do with it. Only on the outside here. It's not going to do a hell of a lot on the inside. Let's see how much it will do once they're done. And now we have it. We have both of our masterpieces here. Here we have the canvas, and here we have the metal block, which is the best that we can have right now. And we are with our overlay, let's see, at a -131. So it helped us for about 70 points, which is a lot overall. But for how much this here is going to be later, it's not going to be that much, quite honestly. So that is how that works. Pretty straightforward, and it doesn't even require power. It just works. It's that simple. What we could also do here, we have a sweet leg. And we should probably make sure that we actually get that one here done. So if you go into food, and we're going to build us an incubator. Let's make it actually 2, one here and one there. Then we're going to go into automation. We're going to build us 2, not Atmos sensors, 2 cycle sensors, one here and one there. Automation wire here and there. And then of course we're going to hook it up to a little bit of power as well. Come over and in, over and in. Let's get that built. And now that we have this here, we can pause the game real quick, and we can say the active duration is going to be 10% of the day, one at 10%, and the other one is also going to be 10%. Just that it's going to be at, let's say, 15 should be plenty. And then we're going to say here number 9, and here number 9, and then we're going to plop a sweet egg in here in continuous mode, and we're going to do the same here. And now we're going to get us some sweetles, and we're going to get us some sucrose. Isn't that nice? And with all that sucrose that we're going to get out of here, we're probably going to build us a sucrose-powered rocket over here eventually. That's the end game for that sucrose. There's really not a hell of a lot else that I can do with it, but that is okay. But now we have our rocket in orbit on Frostino, so let's take a look. What does that thing look like? Oh yeah, look at this here. So we already have a building right here, some window tiles, lots of ice and snow. I think it's time to send our rover down there. So let's head to the star map, grab our rocket, and then we're going to deploy our rover module, and we're just gonna plop it right here. Let's make sure that one lands properly, and here it is coming down, and here's our little rover. And then with our rover we can do all sorts of fancy stuff. We can dig through here, and we can just unlock a bunch of stuff and see what's going on here. What do we have here? Reception desk, vending machines. Can we find here anything? Here we have an iron volcano. Now we are speaking. There we go. Wonderful. Now that's something to work with. That's great. I love to see that. That's for sure. The only problem is we have no building materials. Here we have some wolframite. Here we have some granite. Yeah, we need to get down to some granite. How are we gonna do that? Let's see. Come over here, little rover, will you? Let's dig over here. And then keep on digging down there. You will need to dig yourself further down though. And now we have reached granite and igneous rock, and that is actually stuff that we can dig up. Isn't that great? And we now can build ladders, so we can actually keep on digging all throughout this place here. What we can also do is exactly where you're going right now. Let's make sure we put a tile right here, just so we can get that out of the way. What is this here? Sand? Okay, we even have some sand here. I'm sure what we're going to use that for, but just so we keep the carbon dioxide in here. And we don't vent everything out into space. Not that we need carbon dioxide, but it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. You guys know it. And now that we have dug up all this stuff here, and we are very close to this iron volcano right here, our little robot friend here has actually fulfilled his purpose. That's great. And we can then directly siphon off this heat here and build us a base that we can actually heat. So let's, I think we're done over here. Let's head back to the star map. Oh, what else did we find? Forested ore fields, 2 of them, with igneous rock, carbon dioxide, and aluminum ore. Okay, that's pretty interesting. We're getting more and more stuff in, and now we have researched everything that we can research. So let's change our trajectory back to the planet, and that should be that. How are we looking with Gemster? Gemster, what are you up to? How are you every time sleeping when I come in here? I really don't know. But we have now 157 databanks. We still have plenty of food, a little bit of polluted dirt in here. Yeah, lots of our food has decayed. That's the main issue. We need to do something about that really soon before we do that again, but that's okay. We will get there. Now that we have found Frostino, we are doing just fine. That is actually perfect. We're gonna leave him here for a tiny little bit longer. He has still 5 kilograms of gristleberries at 44% and 1,000 grams of muck roots, so a total of 10,000 calories. Not a big deal. How are we looking in our overview? Exactly the same as before. No carbon dioxide whatsoever. And the same is of course true for Nostromo. Wonderful. That is awesome. That's how it should be. And we just need to make sure that we have JSMSJ here put on his suit again before we actually get down to the ground. And what is here going on? Why is... Oh, okay, I forgot to set this here to 0. So let's do this here right away. Let's get this stuff here and plop it in there. Come on, JSMSJ. Okay, well, the rocket is probably also important. Meanwhile, down here we have some printables. Let's see what we have. Choose blueprint, pip eggs, and shelf wall eggs. Okay, yeah, that is a godsend. Wonderful. We're just gonna grab those, and that is gonna be a tiny little side project for the next episode. I already see it coming. Yeah, that's great. It changes 5% per cycle. We're gonna have plenty of time to actually get those eggs where they belong. And that will be unlimited meat for barbecue. Isn't that nice? And now a little bit of time has passed. We have 75 seconds left before landing, so we're gonna hop back into our rocket here. View the interior, and we're gonna make sure that Chess MSJ is gonna put on his suit again. Where you at? Here you are with a number 9 priority. Put on the suit before you land, please. Thank you. There you go. And now you are ready to land once again on our home planet. Isn't that nice? And here's our rocket coming down, landing back on our platform exactly as that should be. Wonderful. And here we go. We're immediately filling it back up with oxygen. Not like we have lost a hell of a lot. Let's see how much we actually used on that trip. It was full to the brim, so we used about 1,400 kilograms. That's actually quite a lot. We should probably bring Chamster home because he went out with a hell of a lot less oxygen. Did anything break? Yes, right here. In power, we need to grab us a conductive wire, make it out of steel, and plop this here. Let's make this section here steel, just so we don't get any problems later on. Take a look at our overview. It's just a little bit warm, but it's okay. Not that big a deal. And in the space for a module, we want to view the interior, and we want to make sure that this here is actually turned off. We don't want anything in here, and we want to get all that stuff out of here as soon as we can. Magenta, caught you on the toilet again. Really? What are you doing up here? Shouldn't you be down there ranching or something? Ay. And then you don't even take anything with you when you leave. Really? We gotta work on that, man. Back here on Chamster's module. How you doing? Do we still have oxygen in the pipe? Yes, we do. Databanks we have now. Okay, we have almost 200. We can make 3 more and then we go home. And now we have exactly 200 databanks, and he's gonna make us another one. That's okay. Better too many than not enough. And now it's time for you as well to come back home. There we go. You're landing right away because you're already in orbit. So let's view that landing. Only forgot the Chamster didn't have his suit on. Put your suit on before you go out there. That's crazy. You really want to kill yourself every time, don't you? But that's how that goes sometimes. Now we're gonna empty that one here out. The only problem is we lost a bunch of calories. Not that it matters. I mean, we still have 30,000 on here, but we probably burned about 80,000 or so calories just by letting them rot up there in space. So I gotta find a better solution for that, but that is certainly something that we can work on. But here we have our 2 very basic rocket designs. Both are working like a charm. Nobody died. That's always good. I would argue that was pretty freaking successful. I want to go into research though, because what I want to go next for is the big boy rocket. I think that is probably going to be another good project that we can work on. And once we have that, we can build an even bigger rocket. The rockets are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. We also need to figure out how to work this interplanetary launcher right here. So that thing also needs to go somewhere up here, I would assume. And then we will be able to fire off some building materials onto Frostino and land the dupe over there. Will that already happen in the next episode? I'm not entirely sure, but we will see how it goes. But yeah, that is today's episode. So if you enjoyed the content, please subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video, and comment down below. What do you think? What can I improve with my rockets? I'm always happy to hear your opinions and your ideas. And with that, I say thank you and peace.